Boomhauer 69 here, and right off the bat I want to apologize for any weird noises in the background. They're doing road construction on my street and in my town, so on my street they're doing road construction, which you probably always seen a little short video of that I upload to the YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. But I want to apologize for that, and also it's kind of windy out too, so forgive me for that. But this video here is going to be me talking about if I own this church and property, what would I do, like kind of ideas I had to, if I own this whole property and stuff, and was fixing it up and things. What would I do? Well, right here where I actually used to have a failed garden that never could grow stuff right in, and yes, I do gotta mow the grass. And by the time this video is uploaded and people see it, I'll have already done all that, cutting the grass. But this right here, if it was me in this general area where I'm pointing, I would almost be tempted to put, for church purposes, a covered pavilion, like cover a gazebo thing, like put a cement slab there and stuff. I'll walk a little close over here. But if I own this property right here where I'm standing, I would roughly put like a covered pavilion, little cement slab kind of covered pavilion thing, so that way a pastor, or when having church service, you could have outdoor events. Like you could have a pastor maybe give out outdoor sermons, or maybe have on the weekends, maybe have like a little picnic area and place, and have maybe like a little kind of Christian band or something, you know, where you could do some outdoor activities, you know, set up like basically an outdoor stage kind of thing, was what I was thinking about. And if I had the money and the permission from the owners to do that, and I had the money, I would definitely do something like that. So that way, the one guy that does carry a service in here with his family, he could have a outdoor place to give a sermon. What I would do is, in that area, is just basically pour a concrete slab, and then have a local concrete company come in, pour a concrete slab, and then do like you see at like normal parks, just a standard basic little covered pavilion, you know, big enough where you could, the slab and little pavilion thing would be big enough where you could set up a nice little band, a Christian band could set up some music and stuff, and have something there and stuff, something big enough where you can use that as like an outdoor stage, I'll call it that. Then over here in this area where I got the Boomhauer 69 car that took a garbage on me parked for now, and this fire pit, this general area, I would almost be tempted to dig up the grass here, the sod, and put down gravel, dirt, and make this back portion here behind the actual church, make this section basically a gravel little parking lot, so that way it would be a lot easier for people who want to attend the service here and stuff to be able to have a place to easily park and stuff, because obviously parking in grass, if it's wet, muddy, you're gonna have problems. But so I just turned this whole thing into like kind of turn it into like a gravelly kind of parking lot situation, just to make it easier, make a little more parking and stuff. And probably, truth be known, I'd probably do this whole back area in like a gravelly situation, probably. But if money was not an issue and stuff. That's almost what I attempted to do, you know, just to get more parking, because one thing this church lacks is a parking situation, and the only way to really solve that, truly, you'd have to buy out some of the neighbors' properties and stuff, and then tear down their houses and turn it into a parking garage, or turn it into a parking lot, which that ain't gonna happen anytime soon, unless you give your next door neighbors a hefty chunk of cash that they can't say no. But, and there's some more of the road construction stuff. This is actually the driveway that leads into the back here to the church. That's the church driveway, so that's would be all. I would, if I didn't do this back portion gravel, I would definitely gravel up the actual driveway itself. I would definitely do that. And plus, there's a neighbor that uses that driveway to get his camper in and out that he stores in his backyard there, so that would definitely, a gravel would help him out too, and the other neighbors that actually use that driveway to make it easier to get in and out and stuff, and it would also benefit the church, so it'd be beneficial there on that portion. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is in the back here, I would also add some a few picnic tables, a couple of picnic tables, and maybe, this is a big maybe, and maybe one of those little dig in the ground, one of those like the parks have, little charcoal barbecue grills, one of them little, couple of them little standalone charcoal barbecue grills, maybe like parks. You see a lot of parks and them roadside restaurants have them little funny little charcoal grills on a pole and stuff. Here's a picture of what I'm talking about. But yeah, okay, so here's a picture of the front. Now, what I would do on the front building there is where the door is on both sides of the sidewalk there, I would just simply add some nice benches and a couple of nice trash cans and stuff. That's all I would do basically to the front is some nice benches up by the door, a couple of nice outdoor vineyard benches, which I know I can do that. The people that own this, they wouldn't mind doing that, and when I get the money sometime, I am going to add a couple of nice benches and some nice little outdoor trash bins and stuff on the front, and maybe get some of those, this is another maybe, kind of, and not needed, but kind of maybe to make it look a little nicer, maybe get some of those nice, what they call shepherd's hooks, like you see here, some shepherd's hooks, and maybe some hanging flower plants, you know, to make it a little nicer. That'd be about it. All I do it on the front and stuff. So now let's pan back to me. Now, as far as like the inside, this is the big. I wonder what Boomhauer 69 would do on the inside of the building. Well, what I would do on the inside of the building, and yes, I'm holding this camera up a little close to kind of help block the wind noise, but on the inside, since the it's such a high ceiling, because this is one of them old churches where they built them with big high ceilings, and they kind of consider it a second story. What I would do to the building itself on the inside is I would add a second storage to it. If I was a rich person and money wasn't a problem, and I owned this building and whole property, I would add a second storage there, maybe add some living quarters up on the second story, maybe some dormitory rooms and areas for a missionary person to be able to stay or something, you know, make some, like kind of like you see in college, you know, little dormitory rooms maybe for missionary families, or depending on the room and if it made more sense, you know, maybe do like some small mini apartments, you know, like maybe a 1 or 2 bedroom little apartment, you know, maybe 2 little apartments that are simply 1 bedroom or 2, but most likely what I would do, because you could add more room, it's just basically the upstairs, maybe do some kind of, maybe some bedrooms up there, and then maybe a couple little like kind of classroom areas for Sunday school purposes and stuff, stuff, or just again make the whole upstairs simply just all like little kind of bedroom area for the missionaries. And then as far as the basement goes, and like the outside, one thing I would do is totally, if money was not an issue, is I would actually be putting all kinds of additions on this, where this church would end up being a big giant square. Is what I would be doing, is tearing the roof off, adding some additions onto it, and making the second story part of it bigger and stuff, and then when I got done with it, it would look like a big giant square building. And the basement, it's kind of a kind of low basement where you can still stand up in it, but you can touch the floor joists and stuff. It's one of those kind of older basements, but it's a full cement-in basement. But what I would do is jack up the church building and put a whole new modern cement basement and do all that and really amp it up. And then in the basement section, once the whole basement, new cement foundation and full basement was put in, where you had more height and stuff, I would put like a kitchen and multi-purpose room down in the basement, like a lot of churches do, and then after doing all the addition stuff, depending on what room, maybe add a little Sunday school classroom area down below, and also I would add some nice bathrooms down there, with maybe a couple bathrooms downstairs, and redo because it's got 2 bathrooms, but redo the bathrooms where you'd have a men's and women's restroom, and both of them having walk-in shower area, so that way if you had missionaries staying in the upstairs, they would have at least a walk-in shower where they could shower and clean up. And definitely this church doesn't have a hot water heater, so I definitely put a hot water heater system in there and that stuff, and update some of the electrical and all the plumbing, if money was an option. Rip all the old plumbing out, put new plumbing in, and redo all the electrical and all that stuff. And then over here, that one extra little room where I was in boo-hooing and crying in that one video, in that one part of the video, that I would probably just do as like either a little multi-purpose classroom type thingy, maybe put a dividing wall in the center, like a removable kind of like sliding divider wall, where you could have like split into 2 classrooms or something. Maybe do that, or make it like just like a little conference or entertaining room, something that would be beneficial, like maybe have the downstairs basement just a complete like kitchenette and multi-purpose lunchroom with a couple bathrooms, and then that section maybe just be the little classroom section and a little activity room, or maybe have a little activity room and maybe put like a few little maybe a pool table, air hockey or something, and some miscellaneous kind of room. But I would fix that up and use that maybe classroom or just a basic little activity room or something. Basically what I would do would be pretty basic stuff if I was the owner of this property and building, and I had all kinds of money falling out my backside. I would do a lot. It'd be generally basic, but it would still cost money, because you could easily in this church building probably have close to like $500,000 in repairs and stuff, because remodel and restoring a building thing like this is not cheap whatsoever. So that would be a thing. But there's a rough idea of what I would do if I owned this building stuff. Again, the biggest money project would be out back here would be the covered pavilion, cement slab, kind of little outdoor stage thingy, and then buy some cheap basic picnic tables out back, and maybe, like I said, barbecue grills and stuff. But definitely, like what I said on the front, the benches and trash can idea, I will definitely be when I have funding through YouTube and stuff and can afford to do so. We'll be buying some nice outdoor benches for the front and some nice outdoor trash cans for that, because I know I can do that and nobody's gonna get mad or anything. So, but as far as all the other stuff go, I don't have the money to do that stuff, and I don't have the permission, and I would have to get permission, and then also through my local community and township, probably some building permits and stuff like that. But there's a rough idea of what I would do if I owned this church building and everything. But either way, I'm still gonna try to help get this video right here. I'm going viral all over the internet to generate some revenue, just to, you know, at least to do updates and stuff. And then what I would do is, if I had money, let's say I video went viral and I made $100,000, the owners of this building, I would get with them, and and my brother and everyone that's involved in this church, and sit down and say, okay, what do we need to do and what's going to make sense, you know. That's the whole point. You have to, when fixing up a building and doing things, you're gonna have to say, okay, what makes sense, you know, and stuff. So that's how it goes. But there you have it. If you like this sort of content, give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Comment your thoughts below, and hope you all have a good day. And don't forget to share this video with everyone you know, because in a way, once I make the money, I'm gonna help this church out, and give them, to help them fix it up and restore it and stuff. And even if the video I made about this church, even if that video don't go viral and one of my other videos go viral, where I make a ton of money, either way, I'm still gonna give them money to help this church out one way or another. So have a good day.